The next 4 quarters, only keep it light. Strapped in tight, we're taking flight. From the field to the court, we'll have our sight.
Well, welcome to the next 4 quarters. I'm Daryl. That's Tony, Gary, and Vic. And this is our main course. We also do a side piece after a little more off the rails. This
And
kind of
it's
goes off
not
the
on the
too.
rails either.
But this is a little more sports focused. So if you don't want to listen to the sports part, please catch us on the side piece after the main course. Anyway, we're going to get right into Aaron Rodgers and Ryan Clark, since that's like the news of the week. Yeah. So Ryan Clark came out on First Take and started calling Aaron Rodgers out for being a poor leader and locker room conduct, and you name it, he called him out on it. And the thing is, like, I don't want to say he's right, because I did watch the Aaron Rodgers Enigma documentary on Netflix. It was 3 hours of, I already knew this shit, but, you know, I still watched it because I was like, oh, let's see if there's anything in there. And when he did go down with that Achilles injury last year, that dude was trying everything he could to play. Mainly because he wants to prove it to himself and everybody else that he's a tough guy, because he said that his parents thought he was soft growing up. You know? He's like, oh, so I got something to prove to my parents. Well, then, you know, he got injured and he was like, oh, I can come back. I can come back faster than anybody. He was telling the doctors, he was like, yeah, we got, you know, a week and then I'm going back to practice. We have 1 week and I'm going back to practice. I was like, okay, so he does want to play. And he did show up to the locker room and he was giving a lot of support. And he was like, hey, man, you know, this is what you got to do. And he was really trying to be present for the team, even though, like, he couldn't be out there on the field. So the leadership thing, I really don't want to knock him on. But being, like, kind of selfish and arrogant, yes. But the leadership thing, not really.
Hold on. Listen. That leadership is not leadership for the team to do good, but just so he satisfies his own stuff to himself. It's not about the team. It's about himself. He just said he wanted to do it to prove it to his parents. It's like the hurt little boy that doesn't know how to, like, address something, right? Aaron Rodgers to me is no different than Jay Cutler, Jeff George. I mean, a ton of talent and just doesn't know how to manage it. And when I look at him, you think, like, Tom Brady wasn't physically more talented than Aaron Rodgers. Not even close. Aaron Rodgers has more physical talent than anybody. Tom Brady was a great teammate and knew what it took to lead, and he was always the lowest paid quarterback in the league, and guys were always helping him up when he was injured or when he get knocked down, and they don't do that with Aaron Rodgers because he's a dick. So I go with Ryan Clark.
Old teammates talk like his teammates like the guy.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to knock him on the leadership thing, but as far as, like, arrogant and self-centered, yeah, you can say that. Like, you can go that far.
I don't know which one of those two I don't like more. I don't like either one of them. Ryan Clark or Aaron Rodgers. Like,
well, to me,
I don't like Aaron Clark at all. Or
Ryan Clark said it with Cam Newton next to him. Cam Newton's like, yeah. I was like, Cam, you were MVP 1 year, yes. You had one amazing year. But your body of work kind of sucks, dude. Like, you're not as good as you thought you were. And that's my problem with Cam Newton. Is like, you maybe shouldn't be talking about upper echelon quarterbacks. Like, you were good for a year. Yes, you had a great run. You went to the Super Bowl. But then we saw how you acted when you were losing.
And Von Miller broke you.
I can see
Newton broke Cam Miller.
Yeah, Cam Newton. I could just see Ryan Clark down the road apologizing to Aaron Rodgers like he did when he talked shit about Tua. Remember that? Ryan Clark came out and talked shit about Tua, how he looked like he got fat, and then Tua came out and said it's all muscle, and he's like, then Ryan Clark's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's like, dude, don't fuck Ryan Clark. He's going to apologize to Aaron Rodgers a month from now, and Aaron Rodgers is still going to be a fucking bitch. So, fuck them both.
The opinion it's kind of like our opinion on it. We don't know what kind of teammate he is. His teammates like him. His Packers teammates liked him. Matt LaFleur, the coach in Green Bay,
Mike
liked
McCarthy
him.
liked him, which is, you know.
Said he's a good teammate.
McCarthy.
Ryan Clark is just like us looking at it from the outside. We don't know. And he doesn't fucking know either.
No, but then Ryan Clark doubled down and went against Pat McAfee and was like, oh, yeah, you paid him to be on there. And Pat McAfee came out and said he'd like increased my net worth. Yeah, he built the show
significantly.
He's like, my company that I own and run. Like, I think someone needs to get paid for their help. You know,
somebody hurt Ryan Clark's feelings a long time ago.
Yeah,
and he's just taking it out on people.
I also heard Aaron Rodgers gave that money back.
Yeah, I don't know about that part. All I know is Pat McAfee was like,
Yeah, whether that's true or not, that's.
Yeah, I gave him fair compensation for helping me. He's like, that's kind of how business works. I was like, that's exactly right.
Yeah. I don't know if he actually gave the money back, donated to charity, but that is what I heard.
I didn't hear about that, but I was like, man, Ryan Clark's biting off a lot of shit, man. I don't know if he's just trying to get clicks or what, but it's not good. Like, First Take is trying to be controversial now for some reason. Even when Shannon's on making some crazy ass shit, I'm like, come on, man. I was like, Shannon, like when Shannon was on Undisputed, when he first started on First Take, it was amazing. Like, you wanted to listen to that guy. You're like, okay, cool. That, and he was pro Broncos, which like helped. You know, when the Broncos were doing shit, he'd be like, yeah, they were doing shit, especially with the Hackett timeout fiasco in Seattle. That was a gold.
I think Shannon Sharp's too many places, doing too many things. His voice is being heard too much, in my opinion. Like,
he's got Nightcap, he's got Club Shay, and then he's got First Take.
Like, for me, it's hard to hear his voice anymore. Like, Jesus, everywhere.
Here's what I think about Shannon Sharp. I think he does good on like First Take or whatever because it's kind of scripted and they have an idea of what they're going for and it's kind of like his forte. I think Club Shay
except the Cat Williams one, right? Cat Williams interview was to him, that was fire, dude. That was perfect.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even know how to conceptualize good conversation with somebody on a podcast. You're like, dude, his brain is like shutting down. As Cat Williams.
No, that was. I don't want to lose money. That was what was happening. He's like, if this guy keeps talking, I'm going to lose money. And then it actually like made him more money than ever.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah. He didn't want to say something to agree with Cat Williams, I think.
Down the line, he was like, I got friends on both sides of this thing. I don't want to piss nobody off.
Like, yeah, he didn't want to say anything to go with or against. Like, he wanted to just, like Daryl said, make money.
I mean, that's the most successful podcast this year, right? Aside from Trump and Rogan.
Listen,
I bet so. That was a big one.
There is not one football person that has a brain that doesn't have a little bit of CTE. I'm going to err on the fact that he just couldn't keep up with Cat Williams.
That's back when they used to let him play with CTE. You know, you get across the middle, you get drilled, you're like, you better get back up.
Yeah. It was like a requirement to play the game. You got to get CTE.
I just want to ask, like, how much do you like Cat Williams real quick, Vic?
I don't know. Like, sometimes he's kind of like, you remember, like, I don't know, I like Rush Limbaugh a little bit, but then he's like, I told you. You're like, all right, shut up, man. Like, Cat Williams gets stuck on one thing and doesn't know how to stop, So, I mean, he's kind of funny a little bit sometimes, but by and large,
he's pretty funny.
Not
like,
that much.
But as a philosopher,
I was just wondering, like, if you would go, like, would you go like the Theo Vaughn route and go buy a life-size Cat Williams to put in your house?
That's a life-size Cat Williams.
I'm just looking for the life-size Chuck Norris in your garage, Gary.
I haven't finished carving it out of wood yet.
That's above the bed. It's not in the garage. It's above the bed. Got to lay down and look at Chuck.
Got to get me going somehow.
I think Cat Williams, as far as a comedian's, like second to only Chappelle, man. Like, I think he's that good as a comedian.
No,
I think
Chappelle's good,
real.
But there's so many other guys that are way better, in my opinion.
Oh,
Cat Williams is top
Cat
two.
Williams.
Oh man, that guy's fucking hilarious on stage.
No.
Have you watched this? Have you watched all his stand-ups?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's good. I wouldn't put him with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is like,
he's second to him. Who's better than Cat Williams other than Chappelle?
Alive.
George Carlin.
Currently alive. Not of all
Pryor.
time. Not of all time, just alive right now.
Or just right now?
No, not all time.
I should say currently
performing. I think Martin Lawrence in his when he was doing his shit was up there. I mean, like
Chris
top
Rock.
Two. So I mean, not all
Chris
time.
Rock,
Right
now,
now,
Blacker one was like one of the funniest stand-ups I'd watched. Eddie Murphy Raw was amazing.
Eddie Murphy when he first came out, Jesus.
But as of right now, who's better than Cat Williams?
I do like Nate Bargatze.
He's pretty good. What about
Matt Rife? Kind of went to the same stuff. Like, he was funny when he first came out, like super funny, and then he's kind of plateauing.
Did you see that one though, where it was completely like crowd work? He did one that was live that was completely crowd work. Like, he had no nothing. He's like, hey, listen, I've never done this, but we're just gonna do crowd work tonight. It is genius. It is good.
Yeah,
I
think
Matt
he's the
Wright.
same
He's
shtick,
pretty
though.
good,
Like,
man.
he doesn't, like, change it up. Like,
I'd
it's
say,
all
what
right
about
here. Like, he was great, and then he's kind of...
what about Adam Sandler?
What about what, Gary?
His last stand
Adam
was kind of
Sandler.
ass, dude.
Better than Cat Williams?
I mean, overall
work.
I would
But
say he's better
Overall
than Cat
work,
Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, look at
talking about
Tony.
stand-up.
Look at Tony Hinchcliffe. Like,
His
that guy's funny.
stand-ups, his old. I think there's just a lot of people better than Cat Williams. Shane
Shane
Gillis
Shane
is
Gillis
Gillis is
amazing.
funny. I
God,
don't know
I
if he's
love
just
that guy,
white people
too.
funny, but he's funny. Dude. He called Nick Saban Alabama Jones.
Yeah, he's funny.
That was funny. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
He was talking about the SEC not getting paid. He's like,
All right,
yeah,
let's
going
go
back to
into
Ryan Clark
sports here,
and
away from the
Aaron
comedians.
Rodgers, just to finish up on that. But yeah, like it's one of those things that kind of goes both ways. Like I think it's good for ratings. I think it's good for ratings for like First Take and for McAfee.
Oh
Just
yeah,
something going on, little more, stew in the pot, so to speak. Like it's like, okay, cool, like that'll be good. It'll make
Yeah.
the Jets relevant for a little bit
Well, and-
longer, so that's good.
and
It's just
people
like
are
Nick-
criticizing Aaron Rodgers for the Jets' performance this year, and it's not all on him. He's had a
Well, they
pretty
did
good
that go over their
statistic
head
year.
coach.
But you got missed field goals, you got dropped passes. Like it's not Aaron Rodgers. They could easily be
Right, but it goes
9
along
and
the same
5.
lines of once you let go of your head coach, your whole season is going to go to shit. Yeah, you're not.
everything goes
There's
to
no
shit.
hope for a winning season.
I'll tell you what it is. This is no more than like Nick Wright is. Nick Wright's a freaking idiot who just says shit for shock value. Like, how many years did he say that
Didn't he say
Nikola
that up until he
Jokic
won
wasn't
the
the best
finals?
player in
Like-
the world?
Like the best finals performance,
Yeah,
in so many years, whatever it was.
ever.
And then,
Yeah, no, ever. It was ever. So we're clear. It was ever.
well,
He
that was
led in
playoff. That was the whole
points,
playoff run.
rebounds, and assists. No player has ever done that. Yeah,
And then he's like,
So,
I guess he's okay.
ever. Can we agree? Ever?
But that's coming from the guy that thinks Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is
So
the best quarterback in the
all
league
it
this
is.
year. He's great. I'm not saying he's not great.
Yeah.
But this year, he's not MVP
Well, he's
Patrick
not the best.
Mahomes that we're used to.
No.
Lamar's MVP
Honestly-
this year. Like I was looking at him compared
It's
to
just
Josh
Josh Allen's
He's
getting them
actually
like
better in that
amazing
category.
things. Dude,
How
Joe
about
Burrow,
Joe
if their
Burrow, though?
record was better, he'd be up there.
Joe Burrow was playing amazing this year.
No, he
I'm going
is.
to give a name. I'm going to give a name that nobody's. I don't know why they're
Oh,
not
yeah,
talking
killing
about.
it.
What about Jared Goff?
Dude's killing it.
Dude, Jared Goff, he is putting up ridiculous numbers. Didn't he have like 4 touchdowns in
Hmm?
like 4 straight games or something crazy? Throwing like 70%. I mean,
Yeah.
like Madden numbers.
Well, for,
I mean,
for
because that's
the
how
Lions,
Dan Campbell
the Lions made
coaches.
it look too easy right away. And so they're like, oh, that's the whole team. The whole team's good. Rather than one individual performer. Whereas, like, Lamar, like, name me a receiver. Name me a 1,000-yard receiver. True.
Yeah, but he also has.
But then
Derrick
the
Henry,
Ravens always do that
is-
bullshit where they're like, oh, we got
who's-
Derrick Henry and we got Lamar that can run, but Lamar's going to be a pocket passer this game.
I mean, I think Derrick Henry's coming up on like some. Like you'll
Oh,
talk
definitely.
about him as like one of the greats in the NFL, and how could you not?
Oh yeah,
Like one of the all-time greats. And I didn't think that for the longest, but man, what he's doing
I'm
with
just- if he
Baltimore
gets a ring,
this
it
year,
cements
like,
him.
holy crap, dude! This
If
guy.
not, he's going to have to go based on stats alone, which he'll get there, but it'll probably be a harder
but-
trip. It's like Mike Shanahan getting snubbed again.
How is that possible?
That's one of the biggest like snubs for the Hall of Fame that I've ever seen in my life. Because Belichick should be eligible like
Yeah.
soon, and he's going right away. But you got Shanahan, who's just
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, yeah, not him, not this year.
which is weird because you take away just the head coaching of Shanahan. Go back to when he was a coordinator with San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yep.
Like he was great offensively. Like he changed.
They still run his
Offense.
offense.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, look how many
Yes.
coaches came from his tree.
Look at
too,
that
are
Washington team.
successful.
Yeah.
That had
Well, I was reading.
Kyle, fucking McVay, everybody. You're like, oh my god.
I was reading an article the other day, and they said, and this could be it. Like he was one of the most hated players, coaches ever. Like they just couldn't stand being around him.
I don't know.
And maybe that's it. You know what I mean?
True, and they're like, nah,
Because
he's
it's
out.
voted on by the
We're
players.
getting rid of him. It's like the refs. It's like the
But
refs calling
one of the
defensive
greatest
pass
offenses
interference on the
ever.
Sean Payton team. They're like, that didn't happen. You can hit the guy right in the head, spin him around. Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Last
horrible.
Thursday, straight into him. It's fine. Don't call that.
That was horrible. How? Hey, listen, not even that one. How about when Justin Herbert
Was it-
almost took off
Yeah, was it Cooper or was it
the
Benito?
defensive end's head, and he stood up, he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been
Yeah,
offset.
they're like, oh, it's a horse collar. I was like, yeah, but it's also a face mask. And
That
they're like,
was
nah, we didn't see
horrible.
that face mask. I'm like, I was like, yeah, the Broncos deserve to lose that one by just tanking the second half, but in the same breath, it's like, come on, man. They can't get every penalty, especially when you see them like offset. It's like, okay, if they offset, it's fine. Just play the ground again. Like the Sternad one, I could see that because he did kind of give him a little forearm. I'm like, okay, shit, he should have pulled up a little harder, but damn.
I think the most egregious penalty of that game was the punt where they called interference. That was absolutely, I couldn't even believe that one. Because the dude jumped around
like the ball
him
hit him like on this shoulder, and he's like, I was like, that's kind of hard to call, isn't it?
It was
like since he jumped into the runner, but whatever. I mean, if you get the call, it's a smart play. You're like a smart play. The fair catch free kick bullshit though. I'm like,
that's just
dude, I've never heard of this.
That's just typical Denver Bronco football though. Like that's what we're used to, right? Like we don't want to
throw the ball.
We don't want it anymore. We shouldn't be seeing it, but it's just
all they had to do was
Denver Bronco football.
Yeah, run it on first.
You're down on your 30 with 40 seconds. You're up 21-10.
Yes,
and you want to fucking throw the ball.
Yeah, run it on first. Nothing happened.
Dude. What the
Take
fuck
2
is wrong
knees,
with you?
go in the locker room, call it a day.
Yeah,
you get the ball after half. You have the momentum. Like, dude, I get so.
You know what we're gonna do after half though, Tony? We're gonna do
run, screen,
run, screen,
punt.
Every second half, like he just. That's what we're gonna do.
I could coach defense against his offense. I feel like it.
Guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Stop the run and watch the screen pass.
Yeah. And the short pass, the 5-yard short pass.
Because they stopped doing slants, they stopped doing 5 and ins, 7 and ins. They're like, we're done.
Because Garrett Bowles had a holding penalty, so we got moved back. So you know what's happening.
Yeah. Yep. What do you think, Vic? You like Sean Payton?
We haven't been relevant.
I don't think we were relevant with Simeon. I said, I don't think we were relevant with Simeon.
Yeah.
We were talked about at least. But,
listen, we had a winning record. Hey, listen, we haven't had a winning record. At the beginning of the year, we had what every pundit said was the worst roster in the NFL. We're looking at a rookie quarterback that has more potential that we've seen maybe, at least in our lifetime, right? Because none of you were old enough to see John Elway drafted, neither was I. How can you not like Sean Payton?
I'm not saying I don't like Sean Payton.
We sit around and get mad
because play calling sometimes. Because his play calling is frustrating as shit.
Yeah, I don't like his play calling. He's great.
Amazing.
He's great dealing with the players. Yeah. But his play calling, you just can't. It's just, I don't know.
I'm going to give you the most unpopular opinion. And this, I remember when we traded Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey. And we had the worst defensive line in football. And Champ Bailey had 12 interceptions. But he obviously goes down as the greatest corner, or one of, right? And everybody is talking trash about Champ Bailey because our defense as a whole was so bad. And that, to me, is the typical Bronco fan that focuses on one thing but not look at the collective body of work of the players that they're getting in there, they're drafting it, and the way he's changed the whole locker room. Like, I think Sean Payton's great. Like, obviously he's won a Super Bowl for a reason and been in the league this long for a reason. We don't see everything that he may see, much like Andy Reid seeing the one guard that has the wrong stance on field goals. Like, we don't always know what he sees because it doesn't work out. If it does work out, he's a genius.
It's just, we would like to see a little more than screen, run, screen, punt.
Change it up a little bit.
You're on our text stream. You see us calling it like right before it happens. We text it screen. I bet they're going to screen.
I mean, I don't know what he sees I don't know what he sees that we don't, because it's the same play, same result every fucking time. So I mean, I really want to believe you, Vic, but I don't know, dude.
I was telling Daryl before you guys hopped on, first half stats, 15 to 21, 165 yards for Bo Nix. Looked amazing. Second half, there's like 5 minutes left in the game, 9 of 13 for 63 yards. That's a change in the play calling.
It's because we went to the screen. We were running. It's one of those things that you just go back and you look at it and you're like, come on, man. Like, we were running the ball, like, effectively. We need to run Estime. Not Javante's not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Estime is that guy.
Yeah, I don't know what his, that I do agree with. I don't know what his aversion to Estime is because, dude, it seems like every time he touches the ball, he falls for 9 yards, right? Like, he's a beast. I was super pumped when we drafted him. And he had some ball control issues in the beginning.
Usually rookie running backs do.
I mean, I mean, it's not like he was a first round running back. We got him in like the 4th round. There's some development that comes with that, right? So develop him. That I don't get.
Because it seems like we can just pull from the well, and like the guy we pull in does amazing. Like we ran that Blake Watson, he looked great.
Yes.
We still got that Tyler Beatty. They got.
Yeah, I think he's injured.
Yeah,
I think
he's been injured since like the Jets, like week 3. I think we opened his IR window in like October, so he must be really like crunch. But I'm just saying, like our running back draft was pretty good, man. Like you look at it, you're like, all right, we got guys, but yeah, why they keep running Javonte? It's almost like they're trying to like say.
I was gonna say we just keep going back to Javonte.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with Javonte. Javonte is just that guy that's like, I want Javonte to do well so much. Like I really, really, really want Javonte Williams to like kick ass. At this point, it's like
we need to trade up and get Ashton Jeanty.
I'm pretty sure that dude's going to the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure Ashton Jeanty goes to Cowboys.
They don't need nobody.
Kind of like I'm pretty sure Shedeur goes Raiders. That's the only reason why I picked Jacksonville this week, because I was like, I don't think the Raiders are going to give up that one spot. Because if they do, Shedeur's going to New York.
I don't think the Raiders win another game all year.
Jaguars. I was like, oh, the Jaguars? Let's go with it.
As bad as the Giants are, we go back to the garbage product of just bad teams. You know, the Raiders have one good player.
Yeah, I think we've been on this poor football play for a couple weeks now. And then last week was like fumble interception city.
That was the worst I've ever seen.
Everyone's just fucking up.
I think it's sports as a whole, right? I mean, like I was watching 20 years ago, well, not even 20 years ago, 10 years ago when you had like the Legion of Boom, right? When they actually allowed him
that's the one hit. So when
players,
Herbert was like tiptoeing the sideline and they finally just cracked him, I was like, finally, someone make him pay for trying to do that tiptoe shit. And they're like, oh, there should be a flag. I was like, he was in bounds.
Yeah.
That's a legal hit.
Yeah, in bounds.
Yeah. But then you go to the NBA, right? Like, and how bad it is in the NBA. And, of course, LeBron ain't no party like a Diddy party. LeBron comes out and says, oh, we're shooting a lot of fucking threes. I'll tell you that much. No, man. LeBron James is what you saw when the NBA started tanking, when he became the de facto
when
general
he became
manager,
the official face of the league, it's like, man.
Yeah, well, he became the general manager, right? Like, he went from Cleveland, and then he got Chris Bosh, and they went to Miami, and then they didn't win. We're not talking about 1 championship or 2 championships. They're talking about 6 championships, right? They win a couple. He gets mad and tries to get Pat Riley fired, one of maybe the greatest NBA minds in history, right? You got to look at him like Phil Jackson.
Kind of top of the list.
From player to coach. Yeah. Player, coach, general manager, who's better than Pat Riley? So he tries to get Pat Riley fired. Then you get teams that like start making their own big 3. This is the problem, right? Like the players are running the league and it puts out a garbage product. That's why the NBA is terrible. Tony?
I haven't watched basketball at all this season. I just have no interest to. I don't know. I've never really liked basketball anyway, but just because the Nuggets had the best player in the world, I was like, all right, I'll watch this shit. But it's always been garbage. I mean, after Jordan left, it's been garbage, in my opinion.
What do you think, Gary?
I think it's gone downhill significantly. I think the league has gotten too soft. All leagues, we talk about in football, they're soft. NBA soft. They stopped playing defense, and it turned into these high-scoring, 3-point shooting games, and they're just not
right. Well, because if you go back and look at like the older games, dude, the finals games were, aside from a few, they were like 96-92. You're like, oh man, that is in there. I did watch that 30 for 30 on the Orlando Magic, with Shaq and Penny. Yeah. And I was like, it was a really good 30 for 30, but like they had one where they got just blown out. It was like 117 to 106. I was like, damn. And they even felt like, we got blown out. It's one of those where you're like, okay, cool. Like, but there were a few high scoring games, but like 120 was like the high mark. Dude, now you could see 146, 150. Like, oh my God, you guys are just raining points. Yeah. But then you get like the Nuggets. Just to go back to the Nuggets real fast, like you got Jokic, who, how often does he go to the foul line? But how often is he chopped? Like it's like when they came out with the hack-a-shack shit. They're like, oh, we're gonna hack him because he sucks from the free throw line. But now, like, they don't call it. No,
No, but he doesn't stunt from the free throw line, first off. And if you look,
It's
if you look
bruised.
at his
It's
arms
bruised,
after a game,
scraped.
it's a tragedy. Yeah, there's blood. It's everything.
I'm just saying it's like the
terrible.
opposite of Hack-a-Shaq. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to beat him up, but we're not going to call it. You know, like, whereas Shaq, they just call it. You go to the free throw line, brick a couple, and keep going. You know, except no one has a better
So you bring up
3-point field goal percentage than Shaq. He's 1 for 1. He's 100%.
so
Yeah.
you brought up Shaq and Penny. Just a quick question: How much do you think they could have won
So if
he didn't leave
Orlando
for
would
LA?
have just not been Orlando, like they were relying a lot on luck, like because when they became the expansion team, they had the first overall pick. The next year, they got the first overall pick again, and then they ended up trading Chris Webber for Penny Hardaway, and it was like the original Shaq and Kobe. Like if you watch that, you're like, I see where that is. Like, except like Penny was tall. I like in my mind, like. Thinking back to then, I was like, I always thought Penny Hardaway was little. No, he was tall as shit too. I was like, so they had like another big man essentially that could move. Like his whole downfall was he got hurt, but it was jealousy.
Yeah.
There was jealousy, and Shaq wanted the deal done.
I think,
and then they wanted to fuck around. So then Jerry West calls and says, "Come this way."
you compare. It wasn't Penny. Penny Hardaway was not like Kobe. Penny Hardaway is much like Tracy McGrady or Kevin Durant. He was a big, tall wing guy. He was.
It was
I
beautiful.
remember watching him play as a kid.
It was
and I was
beautiful
like,
to
man,
watch. I was like,
this
this is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, then as soon as Shaq went to the Lakers, all it took was Kobe. And then look at that. He got his MVP season.
Yeah.
Well, Gary said that it's gone down since Jordan, and I don't agree with that because you had a lot of good years with Tim Duncan and
No, Tony
Bryant.
said since Jordan. I think it's been since the like
Ever since LeBron took his talents to South
Yeah.
Beach.
South Beach. Yeah, that's when you started seeing the tank, right? People were more concerned about one guy who knew nothing about. I mean, they crowned him as the king at 18 years old. He's the most self-absorbed person on the planet. He comes out with the
It was
special
an
just
hour
talk
long.
about where he's going.
I remember watching it going, I thought this was going to be like 10 minutes, like a press conference. Like he just shows up like the college kids, when they're going to recruit. Like, I put on this hat. Nah, fuck it. This one. I thought it was going to be like that. No, it's an hour long, like chronicling his life and shit. I was like, really? We're doing like a 2020 special?
But when I said after Jordan, I wasn't saying like the day he retired, it went down. I was just trying to make it
Like Jordan on the Wizards?
line. Like when it transitioned from Jordan to LeBron, that's what I was trying to say.
The
Like,
product
not
was
the day
far
after
better back then.
Yeah, not the
It's
day after
been going.
Jordan retired, but like
I do agree with Tony.
Yeah,
it's been
it's a
going downhill
slow
since
decline,
the Jordan,
man,
but it really started going down mid 2000s.
Everyone wanted to see offense. Isn't
But
that
there
what
was-
happened?
there was the Kobe Duncan window, after Jordan that was good. But yeah, I just don't like LeBron, man. I don't like anything about him. I really don't. I think he's a whiner. I think he's a bitch. I think he's a gaslighter. I think he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I just don't like it. And I'm a Jordan fan.
Yeah.
So
Team MJ,
fuck
I
everybody
wore
else.
the sneakers.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
no, like as far as like just a time frame, it's like it's been a slow decline, but everyone wanted to see offense. So it was more offense, less defense. Like you couldn't like get physical in the paint. There was a lot of shoving and pushing and stuff. And now it seems like the only shoving and pushing that happens is like Jokic, and they're like, let him play. It's fine. We didn't see nothing. But LeBron goes, oh my God, flopperoo, flippy flopperoo. Like, he got like just touched on the face, fell. Remember the playoff game against Denver where he was like in the stands, he got like soda splashed on him. He's like, oh, thank you for the towel.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. They're six. What is
Dude,
it? Is he
no,
6'10"?
it's terrible.
6'9"? Like, how tall is LeBron?
Yeah.
6'12" and a half.
Here's
6'12".
the thing. Here's 6'12". Here's the thing about LeBron James. It's kind of like Russell Wilson. He's only pushed as much as the NBA has let him. The NBA has
Right.
let that
So
monster
you blame like Adam
happen,
Silver?
right? Like
Like when
absolutely.
did he become
He's a commissioner, right?
Because that would be the correlation. Right?
Oh, it's
about
been,
about the same time. Yeah, I think it's like hand in hand almost.
no, David Stern
Yeah, but
was
I'm
there
just
when he
saying.
went to Miami. Adam Silver's like 15,
Right after that.
14, I don't know. 8 years? I don't fucking know, honestly.
When he went back to Cleveland, it was silver.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm trying to see. February 1st, 2014.
So 10 years,
Right.
almost 11.
So like it started and then he just continued it.
And when did he go back to Cleveland?
He went back to Cleveland. Jesus.
15? 6? No.
I don't even
15?
know.
2014.
Well, because
the same year Silver became commissioner.
the decline. Because the Miami years, honestly, like for watching the game, it was awesome to watch Dwayne Wade and LeBron James do their fucking
Oh, dude,
Harlem
the meme,
Globetrotter shit.
the meme
like,
is
that was
amazing.
Cool.
You know,
Like,
LeBron
after that,
in the air,
like,
Dwayne
it's
Wade
been
giving his
shit.
arms. That's an amazing meme. I love that one.
Yeah, it was
But
cool.
as far as like product wise, like
Yeah.
I think it was funny to watch them lose. Like they had this super team and they lost.
Yeah.
And if not for
Yeah.
Dirk
not for
Nowitzki.
who was it, Ray Allen? If it's not for
Shit.
Ray Allen's like 3-point,
Dude, that was one of the best seasons ever, though. Dirk Nowitzki, that was a great year.
Dude, he took out like everybody. Like, who
Dude,
the fuck did they
he
beat?
was-
They beat who was in the playoffs that was like legit tough? I forget. But he like
Let's see,
swept
that
them.
year, I think they swept
Oh, with
the Thunder
everybody.
that year.
Yeah, Harden and fucking Durant and
Durant,
Westbrook
and Steven Adams, like they had a
Yeah.
team. Serge
and
Ibaka.
swept.
You also got to wonder too, like with the garbage product, right? That every sports team is putting out. If how
a
much
ton.
sports betting has to do with it?
A lot.
Like the Commanders and the Saints, when they
Yeah.
stop the
There's
clock
some
or
clock
didn't
snafu.
stop the clock, that made the point total come just perfect for
No,
Vegas
it was
to
the
win.
Rams. Wasn't it the Rams like a year ago or 2 years ago?
They,
Where instead of going for a touchdown to like tie the game, they ended up kicking a field goal with like only so many seconds left, and it covered the point spread. Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
No. So sports betting has got to play a role in this because it's just such a severe decline. And I guarantee it's got to be somewhere close to where the decline is to
Yep.
where they allowed sports betting on everything, right? Like DraftKings, Sports Duel, CBS Sports Line, Caesar's Palace. You could all get on your phone. I know a guy the other day that hit $5,000 on a 15-team parlay $10 bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous
Well, you just
What-
made that like
what we're doing.
anybody that has like that addictive personality, and then, dude, gambling's addictive as shit. You just made it
Oh, yeah.
nationwide. You just made it easy.
That
You made it
is-
convenient.
That is definitely like when the NFL started declining.
See,
was
but
the rise
the thing
of
with the
sports
NFL is
gambling.
like the
NBA was
NFL's product
earlier on,
declined,
but
the ratings went through the roof. Like the NFL is like the ultimate juggernaut. Like
yes,
nothing beats the NFL.
I don't understand
Nothing.
how it's.
The NFL wants to flex
It's
so
not that
bad.
good
They
to
put a game on
watch.
Christmas Day, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to beat the ratings for the NBA," and that was the NBA's like premier game every year. Remember?
I think the betting helped the NFL though, because a lot of bets are going on. You
It's
want
like
to watch
fantasy,
that team
you know,
or watch
like
that
fantasy
shit
leagues.
happen.
It helped the
I
ratings.
think it worked. I would think it worked in their favor.
Yeah,
It
no,
worked in their favor, but
no,
not our
not
favor.
at all.
Dude,
But really, like, so fantasy sports and betting, like, had to be a big swing because fantasy sports is what based on points. So they want you to score
Yeah.
points. They don't want you to not score
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
So it becomes like super offensive driven. Then every penalty is geared towards the offense. You know, like, hey, we're gonna do only 5 yards for offensive holding, but defensive 10. We're gonna do automatic first downs for holding within 5 yards. Like that's the worst one. You know, on like defensive holding, they're like,
Yeah.
5 yards, automatic first. I'm like, why is it automatic first? Give them the 5 yards. Yeah, give them
all
the 5 yards.
automatic first downs.
I hate
Every
that.
automatic first down pisses me off. If they're going to do automatic first
Like-
downs,
like if the
then
pen-
it
if the
should
penalty
be when
yardage
the
equals
offense
first
has
down,
a
yes,
penalty,
it's
it
first
should be
down.
a loss of down.
But don't give them an automatic first
Yeah.
down.
Well, like if there's offensive holding on second down, it should
Yeah,
be
you get
a
5 yards.
yardage
Here
penalty,
you go.
and it should go to third down. You shouldn't replay second down. It should go to third down. If they're going to do automatic first downs, they should take it down from the offense
Yeah.
also.
I like that.
It's just a way to kind of like level it out a little bit.
It's
You know?
just my opinion.
Because they
Yeah.
need to go back to being able to hit people.
Yeah, they've made it
for
to
one.
where you
like
can't
you
play
got to be able to hit
defense.
the quarterback. Like, you got to have the quarterback fear for his life at certain times.
Like,
I'm not
nobody
saying
likes
take him out at the
dirty
knees.
hits.
I'm just saying, like,
But-
let him get hit a little bit.
No, like get back to the Ray Lewis days where he wasn't a dirty
Yeah, he
player.
just
He
shot
didn't do dirty hits. He was just a mean motherfucker. Yeah, like he was dirty off the field.
On the
But
field, that
on
dude
the
is
field,
amazing.
like,
He's scary as
He
hell.
was just gonna knock the
Yeah.
he's gonna knock the
I mean,
fuck
that's like a
out of
Patrick
you
Willis, right?
legally.
Like, Patrick Willis is scary as shit.
It was
Cam Chancellor. I don't want to ever get hit by Cam
Patrick
Chancellor.
Willis,
Even now, I don't want to get hit by
LeVar
Cam Chancellor.
Bowman.
That dude is fucking mean. Dude,
Brian
Dawkins,
Dawkins,
Lynch, they lay
John
the fucking
Lynch,
wood.
like, those
Kill you.
guys.
Steve Atwater.
Yeah,
Like, just people that would just take you, just remove you from your
that's what we're
shoes. Like,
missing.
that's brutal shit, man. But that's what I liked. That's what I was like, all right, hit him. Like,
Yeah. clean,
I'm not saying, like,
hard
decapitated a
hits.
defenseless receiver. Like, me and Tony were watching this clip the other day. It had, like,
No.
Manning basically killing every one of his receivers, especially Austin Collie.
Oh yeah,
Austin
not
Collie
everyone,
twice
just
and
Austin Collie. Like,
Emmanuel
hey,
Sanders
Austin,
once.
here you go.
I was like, oh my God. Out of the top
Emmanuel
5 like
Sanders.
worst hits of all
Yeah.
time, it was Peyton Manning to Austin Collie, Peyton Manning to Austin Collie, Peyton Manning to Emmanuel Sanders. Like, oh my God. Peyton, you gotta
Yep.
know those guys are coming, man. They're coming right for you.
I think like Peyton Manning's problem was he's so accurate. Like he doesn't notice there's going to be a problem. He's like, I'm going to fit this ball.
I
in
don't
the
care that
tightest
there's a guy
spot
coming
where
over
he
top
can
to
catch
just
it,
kill people.
and he doesn't.
no,
he doesn't even.
It was a
think
wild ass
about
clip. I was like, this is crazy to see. Like, top 5 hits on defenseless receiver. It was Peyton Manning, Austin Collie, Peyton Manning to Austin Collie, Peyton Manning, Emmanuel Sanders. I was like, oh my God, it's all Peyton Manning except 2. Yeah, it was the best clip I've ever seen.
Oh Lord!
But anyway, just another decline in sports. We have Fury Usyk 2 coming on today. That's like the biggest heavyweight. Yeah, that's the biggest heavyweight fight of the year, aside from the time they fought in May. But nobody gives a shit. And those boxers get paid like hand over fist cash because this one's in Saudi Arabia, of course. But
Again, sports betting,
dude,
room
that and
boxing.
promoters.
Mm-hmm. And that's the easiest one to fix. That's been fixed for.
Yeah, he gonna hit you. You're gonna go down in the 4th.
boxing
Say it
came
with me
out.
now.
They were fixing fights. Like they were finding ways to fix fights.
I remember,
years
I
ago.
loved boxing. Boxing was just so amazing to watch. Like when we were watching Roy Jones. Roy Jones was beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Dude.
I loved watching Pacquiao too. Yeah, man.
Tyson
He was
in his prime, not Tyson
monster.
after the ear bite,
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know, one of my favorite boxers of all time is
Yes.
Evander,
the real deal,
Evander
man.
Holyfield. Like, how can you? He started out as a welterweight, worked his way up to heavyweight. Never had that knockdown power, but just pure boxing, just pure poetry, right? He worked the body, and he'd get a knockout from body shots in like the 8th round.
He just wear
That's
him the
why he
fuck
always
down.
beat Tyson, because he was that good of a boxer. Yeah.
Could you imagine Mike Tyson if he had
Dude,
more
if Cus D'Amato wouldn't have died when he died,
like
Tyson would have been
if there
amazing. Like Tyson would have went on like a beautiful run. But his thing is when D'Amato left, Tyson was lost.
That guy would kill you with one punch. If he had the accuracy of some of these other guys, like just great fucking
like
movement,
Chuck Norris accuracy.
like Chuck Norris.
If he had that Chuck
Man,
Norris
Mike Tyson
discipline
coming up
and
there,
accuracy,
like,
he might have been able to land one punch
he
on
was
Chuck
good,
Norris.
but like if he had more to go with that strength.
How bad would Chuck Norris kick Tyson's ass in Tyson's?
I mean, if anybody got hit by Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's prime, it's over.
Don't you dare say that. Don't you fucking dare say that, Gary.
I didn't say he would get hit.
Okay.
But if
you I almost shed a tear. You broke my fucking heart. Oh man.
No, if he did get hit, like you're done. But that goes back to Tyson not having the movement or shit, you know?
When Tyson came out, he was undersized for heavyweight, and he did have like crazy movement because there was just lumbering dudes just like throwing big old like.
But he was fucking killing people.
Gotta swing for the fence and see what happens. Like skill wasn't so big in the heavyweight division, like aside from Ali.
No.
Two things I want to say when we talk about boxing. One, Tyson Fury is one of the more talented boxers, even though he looks like he is not.
He looks like Tony fighting out there.
His footwork.
He's like
He
Jokic
is
of
good.
boxing.
yeah.
He's accurate. Like he's good.
So not to take away anything from Tyson Fury, but the second thing is I was reading this thing the other day about Evander Holyfield, and do you know who he said hit him harder than anybody? Now you think how long Evander Holyfield fought and who he fought, and you're gonna be shocked at who it is. You guys know who it is? Chuck Norris.
No, we should have known.
Why didn't I think of that?
No, it was George Foreman. It was George Foreman. You said George Foreman hit him harder than he ever did in his life. It was George Foreman. That was a true story, but it was George Foreman.
George Foreman.
I can see that because George Foreman was a big motherfucker too.
Yeah, that's what, like you give Ali the credit, right? Ali took them punches for what, 8 rounds before he rope doped him.
Could you imagine?
That's why Ali just all he can do now is the speed bag. That's it.
Right.
You know, he just gets his little hands up there.
Like they do anything now, right? Anything now, right? Like
he's
done.
dead.
But I'm just saying, at the end, that's all he could do.
Yeah,
They
so he
give him
can't
the
do
speed bag and
anything
he'd be all,
anymore. But yeah,
and then he'd start rolling and you're like, holy shit, this guy can't talk, but he can run the speed bag?
You want to see the creepiest? Listen, you want to see the creepiest?
He didn't fight that way.
Listen, worst thing ever. It's the most haunting photo ever. Pull up the last picture of Muhammad Ali.
Here we go with the photos. Here we go with the photos.
Oh, it's bad.
Like,
no, if you guys have not seen this, it is creepy.
You know,
I want to see Chuck Norris. I want a current picture of Chuck Norris.
Hey, speaking of Chuck Norris, so you guys know he visited the Virgin Islands, and now they're just called the Islands.
There we go. Chuck Norris hits.
Every fucking
Chuck
where,
Norris.
dude.
Chuck Norris hit the
this,
islands.
oh
I'll tell
my
you
God,
that much.
man.
Oh,
No.
that doesn't even look like him.
That's fucking
Look at
Mandela.
No, that is Muhammad Ali's last photo.
That's Nelson Mandela.
That's the newest Mandela effect.
It's a Mandela
Mandela
effect.
now looks
That
like
really
Muhammad
didn't
Ali.
happen. That's going to be the newest Mandela effect. They're going to gaslight the fuck out of us and say Muhammad Ali never existed. It was all Nelson Mandela.
Muhammad Ali's alive.
That's when the CIA finally unveiled all
it's
of
the
it.
same picture on the Daily Mail. Like they got a few of them. Watch that. Let me share this. Like there's a whole reel. Like,
George Foreman did that to him.
That was all George Foreman.
Like you got to think,
man.
if he knew that was going to happen,
no,
would
look,
he have
so
fought that way?
if I scroll, can you guys see this? Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, he has white hair, like white man hair.
Yeah, it's straight.
That's awful.
He's
looking.
not-
Like he
he
got
looks
straight hair.
bad.
Yeah, like I mean, his hair
he
looks
put
like mine.
relaxer in it.
It's as thin as Vic's, but it looks like mine.
He probably, I was going to say, it's thin as mine. He kept
75.
his till like
It's okay, it's close.
93.
You know, first try.
Yeah.
All right, now let's look at Chuck Norris at 86.
Yeah, I want to. Where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
I brought up Chuck Norris. He had enough.
Chuck Norris removed him. Jesus.
Listen, he knew that we were going to pull up a bad photo, and he leaves us completely. See, Chuck Norris is the ghost of Chuck Norris is the spirit is strong in this one.
I want to see how good this guy looks at fucking 87.
Who? Who's 87 now? Oh God, do I got?
Chuck Norris,
Let me pull that up.
84 or whatever the fuck. He has a full head of hair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they only got pictures of him with hats on. He's pulling the Tony. A lot of pictures of Chuck Norris with a hat.
Texas Ranger. I got the old Bronco game on against the Jaguars. And
Is that the one-
playoff
Is that the
game.
one they lost?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep.
Is that the one where he threw the backwards pass?
Yep. I'm just saying, yep. I don't know.
Is it this one? Yes.
I know
Is
we
it
lost
this one?
this game and we
Mhm.
shouldn't have.
You know it.
Yeah. Natron
Damn.
means number 20. Yep.
Mark Brunell.
Yep.
All right,
Yep,
let
I
me
remember
share
that
this one. Chuck Norris at 84. Look at that homie over there lifting. Got more hair than me. Full beard. Look at this guy. 84 years old. Look at
him
that.
at 84 years
that
old,
is the
Gary.
face.
Gary,
Yeah.
Gary,
click on-
Gary,
click on
don't
that
stand up
picture.
in front of the camera, okay?
It's a whole ass video.
We don't want to see how excited you're
There
getting.
there's a whole video. I gotta switch the share screen. I just switching the screen
What are
over
we doing here?
because it's a video of him actually like lifting. Like look,
Oh,
like yeah.
Looks about right. You know what? I get it completely now.
We got a little ad here. I wish we got credit for playing somebody else's ad. Stupid. Oh,
Yeah.
Olay again. 2 ads. Shit. We
Two ads.
got fucked on 2 ads
YouTube.
for real.
Is this YouTube?
Olay owes us.
You can't skip this one.
Here's some moisture.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look at that guy out there. He getting it. Look at that weight.
How much weight is that? Each one of those is 45 pounds.
Just warming up
What are
out
you
there.
doing?
Look at
Just warming up.
that.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I got to go after that. It's about time to go watch the Chiefs play.
All right, guys. Well,
That's
yeah,
540
that'll wrap
pounds.
us for our main course today. After watching Chuck Norris just, pump some iron, really make all of us feel inadequate. So that's
Girl.
great. Anyway, remember to like, follow, or subscribe. And if you like something, let us know. If you don't like something, let us know. And we'll catch you next week.
With laughter and stories, it's our holiday. From old memories to new jokes, we're ready to deal. Life's a wacky game.